Because the reality is that relationships grow in life, and your relationship with your baby is no different. I would be trying to urge people to think of those first few weeks as the opportunity to bond with their baby, to get to know their baby.
Welcome to this episode of the Bump in the Road podcast. Bump in the Road is brought to you by Derbyshire Family Health Service, part of Derbyshire Community Services NHS Foundation Trust. Today, Dr. Claire Scothern, a clinical psychologist, talks about the challenges that many people face when they have a newborn baby. She discusses thoughts and feelings you might have and how to navigate through this potentially overwhelming time in yours and your baby's life. Please be warned that this podcast may cover topics that are sensitive for you. If you feel like you need support, our contact details are listed at the end.
So let's talk about what happens when you have had your baby then. So I always feel like having a baby is like throwing a hand grenade into your house. So someone throws the hand grenade in and then runs away, and you're left with this enormous explosion and sense of, oh my gosh, what has just happened? So it's not always easy, and that's okay. I think I want to put across this idea that certainly the first couple of weeks and then 12 weeks, there are significant kind of time points after having a baby where, you know, it is going to be a struggle. So I think rather than us putting these narratives out there in society that it is a beautiful time when you are just lying around connecting with your baby in a bubble, a baby bubble as people call it, don't they? Rather than us sort of perpetuating that idea and having that be the thing that we're working towards, maybe we should have this more realistic sense that it is like a hand grenade into your life, and that can be quite tough. This notion of also giving birth and you instantly bond with your baby, you fall in love with them, and that's that. I think that can set mums up to feel, and parents up to feel, quite disconnected, because the reality is that relationships grow in life, and your relationship with your baby is no different. I would be trying to urge people to think of those first few weeks as the opportunity to bond with their baby, to get to know their baby. There are different temperaments, you know. Some babies are grouchy, some babies cry a lot, some babies are super gentle and passive, and there's no telling what kind of temperament you're going to get. It's not married up with previous babies that you might have had, and it's certainly not connected with you as a person. It's, you know, babies have their own temperaments. So taking the time to get to know them is really important for them, for your attachment with them, and also for your mental health. So rather than thinking I must get this right from the get-go and fall in love, you know, it's who is the stranger that I've been introduced to? Let me get to know them, and let me, you know, just take the time to be with them and listen to them and observe them. Again, thinking of social media, I think social media has brought something quite different into our lives, hasn't it? It allows us to see into other people's homes, or to see into the version of their lives that they want us to see. And there's harm in comparing yourself too harshly to other people. Human beings, we do compare. That's what we do. We rate ourselves alongside other people. It's a psychological thing that our brain does. I'd like to see people thinking about themselves as just being good enough within their own selves, in their own parenting choices, rather than worrying that they might not be sleep training fast enough, or maybe they've not been able to continue the feeding journey they wanted to. Again, kind of following trusted accounts and listening to people in your life who are a bit safer, a bit more encouraging, can really help through this sort of immediate postnatal period. It's pretty hard to feel joy when you are super tired. Let's say your body is really broken from giving birth, i.e., you know, we do have to take the physical time to recover, and we also need to take the psychological time to recover. Our hormones need to get back into balance. I mean, sleep deprivation is a thing. Sleep deprivation is used as a method of torture because it has such a profound effect on people's minds and bodies. So not having sufficient sleep, apart from making you feel grouchy and making you feel tearful and as though you can't cope, it is also, it's really common to have weird thoughts, unusual thoughts, thoughts that you may never have had before, kind of paranoid thoughts, bizarre thoughts. So it's so important to try and acknowledge that and take care of that. So having routines in the day, getting outside when you can, getting vitamin D if it's kind of light enough, just being gentle. I know people talk a lot, don't they, about get all the rest before the baby comes, but we know that that isn't realistic. So what is realistic is perhaps instead of being the person that gets up and does the load of washing every time the baby's having a nap, maybe take one of the baby naps for yourself to have a bit of downtime. If you can't, you know, bring it into your life to get to sleep, then maybe just even lying down and resting your body is helpful through that period. It's a massive transition, going from being pregnant, where actually sometimes you're quite safe and protected in lots of ways, and it feels a bit more controllable, to all of a sudden having your routine turned on its head, and needing to focus very much not on yourself and very much on this other human being is tricky. But the really important message that I would have through this time, apart from, you know, find your own rhythms, find your own patterns. You are good enough. Every parent is different. No one has to follow a particular, you know, there's no protocol for this. Find your own rhythm. But also, there's certainly something about making sure you do take that time for you. So you might not feel comfortable or have the support around you to be able to get out by yourself or to take time away from your baby. But even taking half an hour to go and have a bath, or making sure that you have a shower, or making sure that you take care of yourself as far as, you know, eat, make sure you are drinking enough water, taking a walk around the block, going to do some exercise. If you're an exercise person and that is important to you, taking that time, because I know a lot of parents feel that, oh gosh, the baby needs me, the baby will die if I'm not there. But in fact, of course, it very much is a sense of what is good enough as a parent, and what is good enough as a parent is you being rested and you also feeling settled in your spirits. So if you need to take that time for you, I would say that's absolutely crucial. Equally, relationships, so your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your family, with your partner, they still do need to be nurtured, and not in the huge sense of, oh my gosh, you need to go and have date nights or you must go on your friend's hen do, but keep those connections alive. You, as a parent, as a mom, need to be a whole person, and having that balance will make you a better mom. So if you're overwhelmed and you need to go out for an hour, and that means you can come back and then do a big stint of parenting on your own, then I would urge people to do that, just to keep that balance in their lives alive. So just to mention people who might be introducing another baby into their family. So it's not your first baby, maybe you've got another baby or more children. That dynamic can feel overwhelming, and there can be guilt that comes alongside this, with losing that time with another baby, losing that time with other children, feeling that you're somehow having to divide your time is really tricky. And the idea of all of that pressure being on mums is concerning. I like to remind people in this situation actually that you're giving your other children a gift of new relationships. So siblings can be really valuable for children to learn their place in the world, to help them understand relationships outside of the home. So you're not harming your other kids by having a new baby come around. But it is natural to feel torn and to wonder if it's going to work out, and to wonder if you're doing something harmful. You're not. At the end of the day, it's a valuable thing for other siblings to have each other. I guess an important thing to mention too in that postnatal period is other people's opinions, because all of a sudden everyone has an opinion on your parenting, your relationship status, your body, etc. That can be a real challenge for some women, and knowing how to navigate that is tough. So perhaps your partner is putting pressure on you to get back to having sex, is asking you to lose weight quickly. People have opinions, family can have opinions on, oh, you need to do this, you need to do that with sleeping, you should have a routine, or don't do this, we used to put the baby outside in the cold to help them get to sleep. Everybody all of a sudden is a parenting expert, and it can be pretty tough as a mom to kind of stay solid in your own sense of what feels right to you. But that is, again, my best advice is listen to yourself, listen to your instinct. Hopefully you have safe people around you that you can talk to, that you can let off steam with about these things. Maybe just assertively letting your partner know, so confidently letting them know that it doesn't help you when they place pressure on you. If you're able to do that, great. But we're aware that some people are in situations that are really tough and they don't have support around them. And we also know that this is a really vulnerable time in relationship life, actually, and kind of controlling behaviours come to the fore during this period in some relationships, unfortunately, as does more violence and aggression. So if you are someone that is in a more extreme situation, then please do feel free to reach out to health professionals. Your health visitor is crucial in getting more support for you through this period. And if you're not seeing your health visitor as often as you might want, you can get in touch with the health visitors through our website, and also your GP. So your GP is a good person to get to if you're out of that health visiting loop, just to let them know that you might need a little bit of extra support. Derbyshire Family Services website has tons of information on it about how to access support through this period. So please don't suffer in silence. Come forward, ask for help. It's crucial. It's important for you. It's important for your baby. So yeah, we would always want to hear from you.
If you're struggling with your well-being during pregnancy or with your baby and you feel like you need some support, you can contact Derbyshire Family Health Service on 01246 515100 and make an appointment with a health visitor. You can also text us on 07507 327769. This is a confidential text messaging service for parents-to-be and parents and carers of 0 to 5-year-olds, providing advice and support from one of our healthcare professionals from Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 4:30 p.m, excluding bank holidays. You can also visit our website at derbyshirefamilyhealthservice.nhs.uk.